And I will call this meeting of the Urbana Public Television Commission to order. We're missing a few people that we hope will come a little bit later. We currently don't have a quorum, so we will not be able to approve some items, but we'll be able to discuss things and move forward with that. We have present Jake Schumacher, Jason Liggett from the UPTV staff. We have Chris Fuller, Carol Inskeep, and Peter Folk as members of the commission. Does anybody have any modifications to the agenda to propose? With none, I would wonder if someone would like to move that we approve it.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
Chris, is your microphone on?
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So moved. So we'll take this agenda as is. We're going to skip approval of the minutes until the end so that hopefully we can get a quorum for that. Correspondence. You guys want to take us through that?
There was no correspondence to the commission in the last quarter.
Not even fan mail?
Not even a complaint.
Man. Guys are either doing too good a job or not good enough. And then I guess this will be a pretty short meeting. Moving on to the staff report.
Sure, I'll be happy to do that. First item of business is, as I reported at our last meeting, Caitlin Dixon, our intern at the time, resigned to take another job that's going to be much better to advance her career. But we've been lucky to hire a new intern by the name of Caleb Serpinis. Caleb's running camera today, and he's a great worker, very talented, very experienced, and we're really happy to have him. So we'll welcome him to the UPTV staff. We have programmed a number of specials, both locally and nationally, over the past few months. Jason has prepared a clip reel that we'll share with you in a bit. Just to go over some of the highlights, we've been present at several UC2B broadband events in town and recorded them. Jason has produced programs from these, and I think our plan, as we discussed, is to actually schedule all of the material we have for a couple of evenings as a sort of a special broadcast and do a promotion to promote it that way. Again, just trying to get the raise awareness of the broadband project. We participated in the National EAS test in early November, the Emergency Alert System. It was the first top-down test of the EAS system since its inception, and it did come across on UPTV, so we were happy about that. Jason recorded the City of Urbana 9/11 ceremony on that weekend, and we also ran a number of specials pertaining to 9/11. We have started our broadcast of some of the music performances recorded at the Sweet Corn Festival from the One Community Together stage. We have begun recording holiday greetings again from Urbana staff and UPTV producers, and I would encourage each of you to stay after a few minutes after the meeting and maybe record a greeting for our viewers. We throw them in on the holidays. It's sort of a nice touch, a way of saying hello. We have a new local sports talk show named Sports Beat that Chike Coleman and Eric Sands are doing. Jason has continued to produce holiday market features with the Urbana Business Association. And we have new episodes of Art Now and Artist of the Corridor features. Rebecca Bird, at my suggestion, and I was delighted she took me up on it, recorded an interview with the gentleman who just released the book about Joseph Royer, who is the Urbana architect responsible for the courthouse and a number of other buildings in town. We've been running that special. And we're waiting to hear about some potential modular programming that we can draw the 100 Most Important Buildings project from. So there's, I think, a grant that's been submitted that we're waiting to hear about for that. We had a number of specials for World AIDS Day, concentrating specifically on AIDS in Ethiopia and its treatment. Documentarian Dorothy Fadiman provided us with films that she's done on the subject. We promoted those and a number of our other specials on Facebook. We've been trying to ramp up our Facebook presence and communications. In addition to using the Independent Media Center website and the Smile Politely site, T.K. Coleman, our film reviewer, is going to be starting to submit reviews to Smile Politely, which is nice. I like to see us collaborate more with the Smile Politely people. They're doing a radio show, and I'm going to try to talk them into a television program at some point as well. And we made a contact with the Shambana Moms website, which is really a great website for local events. And Jason recorded a presentation by a man named Mark Fenton earlier this year. He's a sort of a professional pedestrian. And it was a presentation called Creating a Healthier Community, a lot about biking and walking and things like that. They had done a very extensive interview with Mr. Fenton when he appeared live in town here, and so we were able to sort of cross-promote the broadcast with them, which was nice. We did an expanded ad in the Neighborhood News, which is a circular the Community Development Department puts out on a quarterly basis. We did a live broadcast from the site of Troy Davis's eventual execution that Democracy Now! Provided us, an evening broadcast. We're running material from the Champaign-Urbana Area Project on the Champaign County Time Bank. We aired the movie Sita Sings the Blues, which is by Urbana native Nina Paley, former mayor's daughter. And Nina was actually nice enough to like us on Facebook, which was kind of cool. I think that's about it. I was going to ask Jason to talk a little bit about his work with Urbana High School students.
We've been working with the journalism class, Miss Ludwig's journalism class at Urbana High School. They actually stream a lot of their football games and now basketball games and even volleyball games to the school's district site. Then they also record those and kind of make a sports highlight reel for us on a couple of different games, and you'll see one of those in the clip reel that we'll show you. They've also done some interviews with Dr. Taylor, the principal at the high school, and Dr. Williams, the superintendent, and we plan on running those as well. And they're finishing up an interview with the principal at the middle school. And they're kind of looking forward to next semester. They kind of got their feet wet this semester, talking about maybe producing a talk show or something a little bit longer form than what they've been doing on different issues with the school district. So they're very great to work with, and they have T-shirts made, and I am wearing the T-shirt underneath. I joked with Jake that I thought you guys might be scared if I start just unbuttoning, but it is YouTube for UHS Urbana High School. So
Caleb got that shot.
Yes, that'll be in next meeting's clip reel. Yeah. But they're a great group of kids to work with, and they really enjoy what they're doing, and looking forward to working with them more. And Chris was the one that kind of set us up with that and got the ball rolling on that. So,
how many kids in that class?
Well, there's a lot of kids in the journalism class, but they've kind of divided it up into where there's a broadcast team. So there's a group of 4 or 5 students that I work with the broadcast team. But there's probably 20 or so kids in the entire class.
It's really great. Glad to see that coming together. And it sounds like it's just building now, and we should see some even cooler stuff next semester.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you like to see our clips reel?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
Look at your neighbor and say, I'm going to give God credit. I'm going to give God credit. When he does this thing in your life, say that God did it. When he performs and gives you the increase that he prophesied, say that God did it. When he takes you beyond regional, amen, influence and gives you an international flair, say that God did it. When he exposes you to greater, say that God did it. When they put you in front of television stations and cameras, say that God did it. Don't be afraid to say that Jesus Christ is the Lord. Come on here, somebody, of my life. He did it. If he didn't do it, I wouldn't be here.
I was raised in a farm by wolves, which I call my mom and dad. My dad brought us dog biscuits every night. Every night. He brought them to our table. And he said to my mother and my brother, the dog biscuit will ease your pain. It never worked. My mother divorced him over dog biscuits. My brother is a drug addict, and the dogs died because we had some seriously bad dog biscuits.
Bienvenidos, esto es Cuadriga, es el foro de discusión entre periodistas sobre los temas de la actualidad internacional y durante los siguientes minutos transmitiremos desde nuestro estudio en el corazón de Berlín. Quienes creyeron que después de la caída de Hosni Mubarak se iba a llevar a cabo con rapidez el proceso de democratización de Egipto, se equivocaron. Mubarak se fue, pero los militares se quedaron y ellos se resisten actualmente a dejar el poder.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Bird, planner with the City of Urbana and host of this program. Today we'll be looking into the work of historic Urbana architect Joseph William Royer. Our guest today is historic preservation enthusiast and author of Joseph William Royer, Urbana's Architect, Brian Adams. Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
I thought we'd start today with an introduction to who Royer was and why he was important.
Joseph Royer was born in Urbana in 1875, and he attended the high school here and the University of Illinois, and he got a degree in architecture, engineering and architecture, and he went on to become city planner and eventually established his own architectural firm, and he designed many buildings in Urbana and throughout the Midwest and beyond the Midwest too.
Kenny Holmes on the 5 string.
Blake steals, side elbow. Clothesline from Blake. Turns John Allen inside out. Blake Steele got a head sting one. There's a reverse of the whip. Leapfrog from Allen. Another leapfrog. Oh, he got caught. Backbreaker.
Hi, I'm Cody Stunkard with the Urbana Business Association and the 2011 Holiday Market. For those of you who attended our market last weekend, you noticed a little bit of a change with the vendor layout. Festival of Trees was here last weekend and things ran very smoothly. This weekend, the vendor layout will be back to normal. You can find arts and crafts in the East and West Halls and produce in the High Court. As Thanksgiving is this weekend, people are starting to think about Christmas. Come out to the market, get your Christmas decorations and gifts for family and friends. Also, make sure you bring your family out to the market, as this weekend, Santa and the Christmas tree will be at Lincoln Square. To learn more about the holiday market, please visit us at urbanabusiness.com. Call us at 217-344-3872 or visit us on Facebook at The Holiday Market. Thank you.
So the next thing that I want to talk about today is that the lockout is over.
Lockout over, baby! It's awesome.
Oh yes, I'm super excited about the lockout being over, especially the 3 games are going to be played on Christmas Day.
Santa came early this year. It's basketball.
So if you don't like one of the 6 teams playing, then you can always flip to another channel and see a new game. I love that principle within this year's NBA slate.
Thank you for coming out today on this day of remembrance that marks the 10th year anniversary and the commemoration of those fateful days on 9/11/2001. Many of you might remember where you were on that day. A lot of us have. And we said something that day, all of us, as a united nation, which we were, and still are, that we would never forget.
I had a high school gym PE teacher who said she knew you both, and she has a balloon too. Do you know who that would be?
Is it Mary Omit?
I don't believe so.
Okay, or do you remember her name?
I don't remember her name.
Okay,
because it was in high school. That was a few years ago.
There's been, maybe a dozen or so hot air balloons in the community. This has been relatively active for our size.
Hello, I'm Caleb Serpinis. I am the UPTV intern at the City of Urbana. Just wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Drive safe and wear your seatbelt.
Man, that gets better every quarter. I gotta say, I especially loved the footage, both of the music and the wrestling from the Sweet Corn Festival. That was fantastic. That was really great. Very, very cool stuff.
Thank you.
Let's see. Do we now have a quorum? All right. Cool. Then I will move back to item number 4, approval of the minutes. Did anybody have any comments about the minutes that Jake distributed?
I think Aaron Ludwig's name is actually C.K. Ludwick. I could be wrong on that, but I think so. Otherwise, I move we approve those minutes.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It carries, so the minutes are approved. We don't have an audience right now, so if anyone shows up, we'll move back to this item. But let's move on to old business, the Open Media Project update.
The Open Media Project was started a few years ago at UPTV, and the basic overall structure of it is a Drupal-based website to where our community producers can actually upload their footage from any place with an internet connection, so they don't necessarily have to drop off the DVD that some of them do now. They can upload that. It automatically makes a file on demand, similar to how you would use YouTube, and then in return it also sends it straight to our video server, so then we can put it on UPTV. That's kind of the neat feature about it. Again, they would reserve equipment online. There's many other features of it. As far as an update with that, we have kind of got the ball rolling again. We have contracted out Make Data Make Sense, which is a Denver-based firm which began the Open Media project with Kevin Rainin, and he's in charge of that. We've signed the contract and sent that over to them, and we hope to keep moving forward with this, and we're meeting with him over the phone next week, and then we will kind of start to piece together the website from there.
Any commission comments? Okay.
Can you clarify for me, in the open media, is it just going to be web-based from people's individual computers, or are there going to be kiosks around like originally planned, or is that aspect of it been eliminated?
It hasn't been eliminated at all.
Okay,
we're still kind of looking into that to see actually what we would want at a kiosk, because I think, if I remember correctly, the original plan, they would actually have the editing software on that kiosk, as well as, cameras there that they would check out. We'd still have to look around, and find out, first of all, where we would want to put those kiosks, and maybe just implement one or two at first to see if they're actually going to be used. But that's not ruled out, but it's not currently what we're looking for. First, we're just going to get the site up and going, and then we'll move forward. And, different things like that are obviously in consideration.
Because I understand more and more people have their own computers and access and can do that, but I was just concerned that there may be a segment of the population that still do not have the capacity maybe to create or submit a video because they don't have it. So it would be nice maybe to have one or two. I know at one time there were like 6 being planned or something, and I'm not sure that that's necessary, but maybe in certain locations like the library or independent media center somewhere, a couple of places might be considered. So I was just curious to see if that was still needed or in the works or not as part of this project.
I think there'd still be a need for it, absolutely.
Anything else? Okay, cool. And moving on to the new business. Equipment purchases, we have a little list here. Nothing on here seems particularly abnormal, except this New Tech TriCaster Studio. Perhaps you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the mobile studio that I've referred to in the past, and we had already purchased some of the casings that would house that, but this is actually the main switcher. It's a video switcher made by New Tech, which is the same company and brand that we use here to run the cameras here at City Council chambers. And this is actually a mobile unit about, this big. It's a computer, and we can hook up to 6 cameras up to that, switch between them. There's a live web streaming option. You can have graphics. There's chroma key options with different sets that you can choose from. We just got this in last Friday. I haven't explored all the options and played around with it yet. We have already, I want to say we filmed 8 or 9 shows already this week using that mobile studio just to test it out. It does save a lot on staff time. We'll use it, for instance, this coming Tuesday at the Park District. Before, we had 2 cameras there. We would film those to tape. We would take the tapes then, load them in real time into our computer, and then switch between the cameras as we edited to where, it was a drawn-out 10-hour process by the time you were finished to get one Park District meeting done. And now with this, it will take as long as the Park District meeting lasts, and then it'll be an MPEG-2 file, and we've switched between. There's no editing needed afterwards, so that'll also save on some additional staff time.
Cool. Go ahead, Drew.
Is that available just for staff use at meetings, or can UPTV members be trained and use that off-site for events or things also, or not?
Currently, it's just used for staff, but I would like to have some type of maybe different events in town that we can go with some of our community producers. I'm a little hesitant just to give them, that large of a piece of equipment from UPTV and to say, hey, here you go, it's a little bit different with our cameras. But I'd like to definitely get our community producers involved in using that and training them on that.
And probably if there was an event that somebody wanted covered that required a multiple camera setup, they could talk with Jason or Jake about having the UPTV staff help them out with that. Yeah, that's exciting. It's a project that's been long in the works, and it's nice to see it continuing to move forward. Let's see, the Cable Commission.
The the Champaign-Urbana Cable and Telecommunications Commission will move its administrative center from Champaign to the city of Urbana as of January 1st of this year. We're in the process of transferring the paper documents and the website electronic documents, and they will all be housed on the City of Urbana website. I will be taking over as the clerk of the commission. I think the first meeting is scheduled for mid-January, and we are currently looking at the rules and regulations of the Cable Commission, their internal rules as they exist, with an eye towards seeing what needs to be changed to move the commission forward as an Urbana-based commission as opposed to a Champaign-based commission. So I know that Commissioner Folk has been talking with Bill DeJarnette some about some of the things that are that we can look forward to as far as that goes, and that's where it stands. So.
I guess I would just give feedback to the public that the basic goals of the changes that they're making, in addition to the simply trying to move it from Champaign to Urbana, is to streamline it and make it be a little bit of a more forward-looking technologically and looking at the issues that are likely to come in the future instead of the ones that it's already successfully dealt with. And so there's a lot of work, little work over a few months working through those issues. And if the public has comment, I guess they should probably contact one of their commissioner or one of their commissioners, that list is currently on the Champaign website, but there's also a link on the Urbana website, and eventually I guess that information will move over to the Urbana website permanently. Yeah, I guess the first meeting in January, we'll see. I'm sure it'll go very smoothly.
Yes.
And the last item in new business is the open house, the UPTV open house and membership meeting.
That's correct. We had hoped, as I mentioned at a previous commission meeting, to be able to unveil the new website at our next open house and membership meeting, and we're just a little behind the curve in terms of doing that before the end of the year, and I wanted to make sure we did have a membership meeting this year. So it will be this coming Friday. It'll be sort of a happy hour meeting between 5 and 6. And I would like to encourage the general public to come and visit us at Urbana Public Television. We're at 400 South Vine Street in Urbana at the Urbana City Hall in the City Council chambers. We'll have some light refreshments. We're hoping to have as many of our producers as possible here to meet each other and to meet the public. And I certainly hope the commissioners are able to come as well if possible. And we'll probably have a short business-type meeting around 5:30. And it's basically a way to touch base with folks and show them where we are if they've never been here before and invite their participation.
So that's Friday the 16th.
Friday the 16th from 5 until 6 p.m.
Sounds great. I plan to be there.
Good.
The last item on our, second to last item is any commissioner comments. Does anyone have anything that they'd like to bring up?
Commissioner Folk, you had mentioned the representative issue.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring that up. I guess I could have talked about that in the Cable Commission section as well. But the one of the things that I'd like to encourage our people who are watching this is to consider becoming a cable commissioner. If you are a resident of Urbana, then you can apply to be a cable commissioner, and we currently are down, I think, 2 slots. So we need people who want to talk about TV, telecommunications, cable TV, or new media issues, and have some sort of insight into them, helping our community move forward. And it's not a very big time commitment, but it does have a fairly significant impact on the community. So I encourage you to think about that or consider applying. Let's see, the way you apply, I think, is you go to the Urbana website, and there is a link on that to apply for a commission. And you can just say that you're interested in the city, cable commission, and then the mayor will hopefully appoint you. Okay. Any other commissioner comments? Okay. And the next meeting is 1 quarter from now. Do we have the date and time picked out?
Do you have that written down anywhere? I didn't. I should have. Would be...
It will be Friday, March 9th at 12 o'clock p.m.
Same bat channel, same bat time. And I guess I would ask that we have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is now adjourned.